We gotta get
they're
moving
coming
on
right
this
for
one.
us. So let's do part 2 of the Garden Report here. Let's talk about the stars in this one before we talk about the playoffs.
Okay.
First off, Isaiah Thomas, new Celtics franchise record with his 223rd three-point shot. He passes Antoine Walker in that. Well, let's not forget. Antoine Walker, when he had 222 three-pointers in 2002, that was an unbelievably infamous season.
It was on 1,000 attempts.
It was one of the worst shot selections. You know what? I kind of believe that, honestly. I kind of believe that. Isaiah, however, is having one of the greatest scoring seasons in the history of the Celtics.
Completely different.
Let's acknowledge that difference there. He was good. He was very good. He was a plus 16?
Yes.
Team high tonight.
If we're just real quick, if we're going to compare Walker to Isaiah, what's better, the shimmy or the, what time is it? The Walker wiggle, I should say.
No, I think it's better as being really tiny and flexing. That's my favorite one. Because he flexes, but it's like
my answer is Walker wiggle. That one's gonna be retiring number 1 all time for me. But anyways, sorry to go off topic there. It just hit me in the brain.
Okay, we're running out of time here, so let's hear some analysis.
Let's reel it in. What was the question?
The question is. Okay, I'll just take it from here. So, Isaiah Thomas had a great shooting night tonight, and it was amazing to see the difference, something that Brad Stevens addressed a little after the game.
Yes.
So when Thomas went out with about 3 minutes or so left in the third quarter, came back in around the 7-minute mark or so, the Bucks went on a big run. I think it was about 14-8, and then when he came back in, the Celtics went on a run that flipped it on its head, and it was like I had this in my notes, but it was like 14-3 or something like that, and they tied the game up on a Marcus Smart shot, and Isaiah. He just immediately turns it around, but when he is not in there, they can't figure out how to score. Stevens said, I'm not concerned, or shh, don't point it out, but we're going to have to make some small tweaks.
Yeah.
I've been looking at lineup combinations, and I haven't seen a small tweak that works except for keeping Horford out there. And they're really rotating Horford in like short stints here. We didn't even see Horford come in until like the 3.5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Amir came in with that IT&D lineup, and then Horford came in to replace him at the end there.
I think there's one solution to the problem.
Gerald Green.
Sorry, 2 solutions to the problem. One's Gerald Green, which scores in bunches, we all know. 2 is keep Isaiah Thomas in the game longer, and I think that's what's going to end up happening in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens is going to mess around with, sitting him on the bench for 6 minutes in the fourth. He's got to play. He wants to play. He can play 40 minutes a game. I mean, he could play 40 minutes a game. He wouldn't complain about it. I see no signs of fatigue from him out there whenever I watch him play. I mean, I know he's running around like a maniac, and maybe he's just not showing it because he's, Isaiah Thomas, but I think once the playoffs roll around, you're going to see Brad Stevens lean on somebody like Isaiah Thomas a little bit more and not let a lead slip away or not let the opponent sort of build a big lead in that fourth quarter because, like you said, I mean, sometimes it just gets stagnant with them out there. The ball stops going in the basket, and he's going to have to notice it a lot sooner.
And we all know that he's going to get blitzed like crazy in the first round, if not the second round especially.
That's the other problem.
Make it there.
That's the other problem.
They're
Guys
have to figure out a way around that.
Guys just, at the end of the day, they have to step up, whether it's Bradley, whether it's Smart, whether it's Crowder, Al Horford. I think Al Horford's due. Al Horford's going to have to be a little more aggressive with his shot selection. Those are things that are just going to have to happen.
And okay, so very quickly on Horford. Obviously, we understand he's the non-stats all-star and all that stuff. I am a proponent of that more than everybody. But we know that he can't be taking 8 field goals per game. They need him to be more of a shooter. He needs to be more of a threat. He needs to be able to utilize his skills to be a little bit more aggressive trying to shoot the ball. So a lot of plays in the high post where he could attack the rim. He makes the right play, but sometimes making the right play isn't as important as making the best potential play you can.
Right. He has to balance making that right pass to the open guy, or saying, I think I can score here. There's a guy on me, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a move, or I'm going to make something happen. Some guys just have to make something out of nothing, and I feel like he's probably not doing that enough as maybe he could. Again, that's something that he's going to have to think about adjusting and taking it up to that next level in the playoffs.
But, right now, these guys are really trying to hammer down their sets, really work their system. There was a play where Isaiah had, like, a floater where he drew a foul in the first quarter, and he was, like, apologizing to Al and Jay and trying to go over it with them. And they were like, it kind of looked like he wasn't supposed to take that shot. I think he was supposed to go back around and do a DHO with Horford, and he just went straight for the shot, which obviously it's good that you got to improvise and take a shot, shoot your shot when you get it. But they're really focused on trying to make sure sure that they have plays in the playoffs that they haven't really used very often. That teams know when they run a DHO one way, they're going to flare Isaiah Avery to the corner, then they're going to build off of that. We've seen that stuff 100 times. We know that stuff. They're trying to kind of throw some new stuff out there, so when they get to the second round and they face the the Wizards or the Raptors or the Bucks maybe again or whomever they face, they're going to have something new that team has never seen before. Now, very, very quickly, because we literally are about to get ripped out of here. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm actually nervous.
Wow, Antetokounmpo. He was Greek, he was freak, and he was long as hell tonight.
Yes.
A few shots where I thought he probably should have gone for the hoop a little bit more instead of passing the ball. But otherwise, what did you think getting to see him in this joyous occasion?
Giannis, I was telling Pina, our boy Pina, it's like him and Embiid, two guys that you just got to pay to see, because you really don't see.
We don't pay, but
no, we don't pay, but the peasants out there.
I would though. I would.
No, I'm saying I would pay to see. There's not a lot of games where I would pay to see. I'm spoiled. I've seen them all, but I would actually pay to see Embiid. I'd pay to see Giannis because those guys, they're just freaks of nature. I mean, they can just score from all over. I mean, the dunks that we saw out of Embiid when he was here, the three-pointers from Giannis, and just the way he gets to the lane. He's an athletic specimen. We all know this. The Bucks are a very good team. I have to say, having not seen much of them at all this season, I think, underrated them a little bit. But reading up on them before the game today and watching them play tonight, they're a team not to be messed with. And I think whoever ends up with them in the first round, if it's the Wizards, look out. I mean, who knows what could happen? This could be an upset special.
It could be the Raptors, too. I mean, they can move up to that 5-6. Because they're – actually, did they move up? They might have moved up, actually, because they were tied with Atlanta, I believe. Yeah. I have to double-check the standings. However, the Bucks are very, very goddamn good.
Bucks
and if
they
had Jabari Parker still, they would be competitive with anybody, really. They have so much talent. They're putting it together. And Brogdon has really changed that team around.
Middleton. Don't sleep on Middleton.
Everyone does.
Everyone does.
He was asked about that today after the game.
Stepped in. Middleton returned from his injury the same day that Parker went down, and they're 18-6, 19-6, I think.
19
since that, and I mean they're winning without him. So.
Oh, I'm not sleeping. I got a piece coming soon.
Wake up.
I got a piece coming soon. I interviewed Brogdon. I interviewed Middleton. I got to talk to Giannis. So we got some good people on that one.
We're about to be interviewing these guys soon if we don't get wrapped
so
this
we'll
up.
do it. That'll do it for us. A long, late edition of the Garden Report. We will see you Friday when they play the Orlando Magic, which should be a relatively boring game. So that'll do it for us. Jimmy, Jared, Jeremy behind the camera, SeatGeek. Use the promo code Garden Report. We will see you next time on this show, the Garden Report postgame on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog.